So this was the big turning point that was very hyped up. And I already know probably on Twitter there's gonna be a lot of discussions of like, oh, like there's gonna be a lot of discussion of whether Rudis made a good decision of not going at first, and then um at the end while he was sitting, he said, well, before, so he wasn't really gonna go. He said, oh, I have to, he pretty much said, I'm my father, and I have to be with Selfie. So he said, no, I'm not going. And then we see him the next morning, and he's like sitting in front of the early morning, like at 6, I'm guessing. I guess just to clear his mind, relax. And then we see Norm come out of the house, and she's like packed up. And we can already assume, and she even says to herself that, oh, since you're not gonna go, I'll go. And then Rudis and Norm, they have a moment, and Norm says, how come you can't go? You can use magic. You're pretty much a prodigy of magic. And I can, just stay at home and, you know, protect the house and your seed, whatever. And ultimately, after getting that little push from Norm, Rudis does decide to go off, and he says, "Oh, I'll go." And so we can already assume it's gonna. We already saw, like in the trailer, we already saw who he went with. He went with Elianese. So the reason I said it was gonna be a big conversation is whether or not Rudis did make the good decision of going. Now, if you ask me personally, I think he should have stayed because, yes, I know that his parents, his mom, especially his mom, important figure in a low young man's life. So, he knows I know his mother's in trouble, his family's in trouble, and they need his help, but you also have to realize that he's already starting his other family, his wife Sophie, I don't know, I'm pretty sure his son or daughter, but his child is going to be born soon. And not to mention, he has to look after these, his two sisters, Aisha and Norm. And they're still pretty young. So I feel like with all that, with him, being the pillar, like he said, he should, a man like that, I feel like when you're a man about to have your own family, that's when you put, okay, my family's first, and then my parents second. It should be like that once I get a family. But if Rudis didn't have a family, like wasn't starting to have a family, and they needed his help, I would say of course. But it changed because he has, a duty to protect his own family. Like he's the man of his own house, just like Paul. Like, try to put him, Rudis in Paul's shoes. Like, Paul would not abandon Zenith, even if, like, his mother was in trouble. Like, it's just like they are right now. So, I don't know, just personally, I feel like Rudis should have stayed, but I also see, like I said, why he did when he, not pointed out, he is powerful, he can travel. He is very good at magic. We saw, he is very resourceful with magic. Like he can do a lot of stuff that normal people can't even do, like Norm. So in that sense, it definitely makes sense for Roots to go. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see a couple things I wanted to mention. So when Rudis confronted Eliane about it, and she said, Rudis asked, "Oh, what are you gonna do about Cliff?" And she says, "Oh, like he's a great man, but he has the making of a Pope, so I'm probably gonna break up with him. Like, better for us to leave right now." And that's when I wonder if that answer kind of changed, because the only reason I think she said that was I was gonna break up with him because she was told that Rudis wasn't going, like she was pretty much going alone. But I wonder now, like, is her response gonna change now that Rudis isn't gonna go? So I wonder, like, is that gonna change? The other thing I didn't want to mention, so in the beginning with Nanahoshi and Rudis, so we see them doing the experiments. They're conducting experiments, and we see they're exchanging their. And then we see Nanahoshi kind of give Rudis his reward. This, like, I guess a spell that's similar to like the lights on effect. I guess you could make a space where like spirits can gather and like that, like a light bulb or something, and then they fade away pretty soon. So that was one thing. That was one of the rewards for helping. But then she continued saying that next reward is gonna, like, if we are able to successfully complete next experiment, my our next um, our next your next that reward will be very no, she made it sound like it'd be something like he'd want, so I wonder about that. And I feel like, so when Nanahoshi and Rudis were talking about the logistics of this magic circles, and she was like, "Oh, I thought to," like she kind of listed, like she has to talk to someone because they're holding crucial information. And the way she made it sound, if you know the scene I'm talking about, the way she made it sound, like the disgust in her voice was that probably that person she has to go talk to was is the dragon god that, you know, we saw her traveling with, I think, in season 1. So if that is the case, I do wonder what happened between them. Like, why is she not like very disgusted? Like before, she would be like, oh, whatever, like meh, like no reaction. But now there's obviously a level of disgust. So there's probably some kind of misunderstanding or something very big happened. I wonder what that is, and I hope we get some clues next episode. And and yeah, that was kind of the whole thing I want. One thing I did want to point out, since, you know, at the end of the video, was that when the man god gave advice to Rudis, he says, "Wait until next mating season." And he said Lilia and Persia would challenge you, and then after you beat them, like start a relationship with either one. Like, I'm guessing a, a sexual relationship. And obviously to this, Rudy says, "Oh no, like we're not that kind of people. Like we're not in that kind of relationship. Like, and I'm not gonna cheat on Sophie right away." He said, "I'm not gonna cheat on her." And that just the whole thing that the man god even mentioned, like start a relationship with Percy or Lilia after you pretty much beat them next mating season. And when he said that after, "Oh, do you want any good advice?" So I wonder how, even Rudis asked, like, how would that be considered good advice? And I'm wondering that too, like, why, like, obviously he mentioned that for a reason. So, I do wonder, like, you know, if he if we next episode, I'm guessing that we see Rudis and Elsie go on this journey in the desert, but I just wonder if we'll get any clues of like what if like why did the man god say that, like what would happen to Rudis if he did stay and with and he was there with Lily and Persia, like what would happen between the three of them. So that kind of caught my curiosity in the episode. But I mean, overall, I think the episode was pretty cool. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, and I hope you guys feel the same. But I think I'm just gonna end it here. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.